yes, I think we've got to try to get this thing under control so that this country can get back to where it needs to be. But instead of, executive order demands that people want Trump to sign, or arresting people for not wearing a mask when they go for a walk in the park, maybe we all ought to be talking about, I don't know, this.
So any malls that will open in New York, large malls, we will make it mandatory that they have air filtration systems that can filter out the COVID virus. For many of these systems, it depends on what filter you install, called the MERV rating of the filter. But they have different filters that filter out different size particles. And they have filters that can actually filter out and catch the COVID virus. For large mall reopenings, which we haven't done yet, but we're going to make this mandatory.
Mandatory. So malls all over New York better be scrambling right now to spend, millions of dollars to install filtration systems that I don't know that I've ever heard of them. I've been trying to pay attention, haven't you? We're all looking for something that's going to get ahead of this thing. But, of course, he went on to point out that Trump, of course, has failed miserably in everything he's done, especially COVID-19, and he needs to sign that executive order mandating that if you leave your home, you better have a mask on. Here's Governor, Golden Boy, the oracle of wisdom and the font of everything successful against this dreaded scourge.
The president can do two things. First, sign an executive order directing everyone to wear a mask. And then let the president lead by example and let the president put a mask on it.
Well, but wait a minute. Why doesn't the president start telling everybody about this magical air filter that you are demanding be installed in shopping malls? Again, if it works in a mall, it's got to work in homes. It's got to work in churches. It's got to work. I watched a sermon last night online, made me weep. A pastor in South Carolina, Pastor Charlie Boyd, of Fellowship Greenville. And you could see his hands shaking. He's so upset because there is such drama, apparently, within the church community about face masks. What are churches supposed to do? Do you mandate it? Do you make everybody wear a mask? People get enraged at having to wear a mask. And, of course, I know what it is. People are angry about being told they must do something, even if it's ostensibly for the greater good. And so, evidently, at this particular church, there's been a lot of ugliness on social media. Oh, what a shocker. Ugliness on social media over Fellowship Greenville, this big church. I've worshiped there before. It's a beautiful, wonderful, inspirational church. And Charlie was saying we can do better than this. We don't have to be at each other's throats and attacking each other and insulting each other. That's not the spirit of Jesus Christ. That's not a godly thing to do. We're all trying. Churches are trying. Malls are trying. Restaurants are trying. Everybody's trying. And yet there's anger, there's rage, there's frustration, and there's cockiness and arrogance. This Governor Cuomo, let me share with you some comments from an article I saw by Kyle Smith in the New York Post. Cuomo's spiking the football, dunking the basketball, dashing around the soccer field, ripping off his shirt. He's spraying champagne all over Albany, New York. He's Muhammad Ali, standing over the crumpled form of Sonny Liston in 1965. Boom! Take that, coronavirus. Woohoo! Victory! Only 31,000 deaths. New York suffered through the equivalent of 9/11 times 11, but yay? Kyle Smith writes, Cuomo said Thursday, you played politics with this virus and you lost, referring to Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis, with whom Cuomo is engaging in a bizarre feud to rival his utterly nonsensical ongoing war with fellow liberal Democrat Mayor de Blasio. Cuomo said, "It's now undeniable this country paid a terrible price," suggesting what? That other states lack the sage wisdom of Andrew Cuomo, slayer of the coronavirus? 31,000 New York families would like a word. It rather looks like COVID-19 won, writes Kyle Smith. If any entity deserves to brag, it's Satan's cupcake with 31,000 graves to dance on. And if Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, as Cuomo claims, lost, the scoreboard doesn't seem to reflect it, does it? Florida has a larger population than New York State, but has registered fewer than one-third as many coronavirus cases. Florida has seen 15 coronavirus fatalities per 100,000 population. New York, 160. Let me repeat that. Florida has seen 15 COVID-19 deaths per 100,000. New York, 160 per 100,000. With 46,000 deaths between them, New York and its sibling, New Jersey, have combined for more fatalities than France, Spain, and Italy. Cuomo's gotten a lot of credit from the public for taking the pandemic seriously and for being calm and forthright with statistics. I would agree with that, incidentally. But he still refuses to admit error for his disastrous March 25th directive, which remained in effect until June 10th, to force nursing homes to accept infected people. Although he does keep changing his story about who's to blame for the death toll in those facilities. Now it's all Trump's fault. Now it's the nursing home staff. Cuomo's latest gambit, he writes, Kyle Smith, the critic at large for National Review, to declare that New York's alleged victory over the disease was really a case of love conquering all, while insisting the real problem lies in states where there have been nowhere near as many fatalities as in his own, delights the media, always eager to play along with the red states are evil propaganda campaign. The relative death counts tell a different story. Now, I don't know where the death count, the hospitalizations are going to go. I don't have any idea. I pray for my country. I pray for the world. I am being careful. I am wearing a mask.